is a little help with emotional resistance this time of year. Here to give us some suggestions for helping with that is Jenny Cornell from Northland Health Centers. Thanks so much for joining us today, Jenny.
Yes, thanks for having me.
So that's so true. We're a tough breed up here. We got to be with the weathers, but it's the emotional resilience that we have to build up. So what advice do you have for us?
Well, there's a lot of different things. It's kind of like not like you're training for a marathon, but in North Dakota, our winters are rather long, and it can be very waning on us. We might be excited when it first comes, but then after we get up the 10th, 11th, or even the first or second time we have to drive through that snow or get to work or stomp through snow in order to get to the office or even to our car. It's just the little things can add up and kind of build up that annoyancy or irritation, which if left untreated or not attended to could build up to bigger things.
Absolutely. And so something that we can do to help us build up that armor is to cultivate self-awareness. So what would you suggest that we do to help in that pillar?
Well, the first thing is to recognize that annoyance, right? If we're not recognizing the little things and naming what it is that we're feeling, that can be a trouble for us being in denial and not recognizing, and then it morphs into something completely different. So acknowledging, increasing our awareness of what our emotions are can really help us manage the situation of really what it is.
Absolutely. I think when you name it, you can recognize it, and then you can recognize where it's maybe spilling into other parts of your life, and you're taking out this aggression. You're waking up, it's dark in the morning, it's cold, and then you're cranky and you're taking it out on kids that aren't getting up for school on time, or a spouse that's, kind of behind schedule or whatever it might be. So it makes it easier to take a step back and say, okay, nope, this is just the darkness, or this is the cold talking, and I need to be more kind.
And naming those emotions helps us to accept it a little more, because a lot of times we're feeling a certain way and we don't want to feel that way, so we resist naming it. Like, I'm mad, but we don't want to say we're mad because it's the Midwest nice, right? Mad is bad. Right? So, but naming it helps actually de-intensify the emotion. Like, I'm mad. Once you recognize it, it takes away that resistance and defiance that we're having even with our own selves. So then we can look at the situation and maybe understand what's making us mad. And then we can take some effective reasons to deal with it.
And then once you name it, you recognize it, you can build some positive influences in your life. You can develop positive mindsets, and you can kind of flip it and be like, you know what, okay, I know I'm feeling cranky today, but I'm going to focus on the good. It's going to be sunny today, or I get to do this after work or before work, and develop something that you can look forward to.
Yeah, that goes right into the next point, building those positives, right? So instead of dwelling on the negatives and the emotions that we're resisting or not acknowledging, we can focus on the positives, because that helps us to bring in more gratitude and awareness and mindfulness of what's actually happening, so we're not catastrophizing, we're not adding to our misery.
That is so true. It's these long, dreary days, they can kind of feel that way. They can start to snowball, like you said, and feel that way. So if you were to find yourself, in the middle of, one of those, catastrophe type days where it's dark, things aren't going right, there are some coping mechanisms that we can develop to kind of help pull us out and maybe pull us into a more positive path.
Yes, coping skills and strengthening those. I mean, we can use these all year round, right? But in times and seasons that might be a little more difficult for us, strengthening those can really be helpful. Like some of those, mindfulness is one thing that we've talked about a lot. And just being aware of the present moment, not pushing anything away, not resisting anything, just acknowledging what it is. A cup is a cup, a tree is a tree, things like that, so that we can acknowledge it and be able to move on, because the sooner we're in line with our reality instead of denying it, the better we can control it, or we can try and manage it.
Yeah, and I like the body scan that you have on here, because I've found myself doing this. I'll be in the middle of, the workday or doing something, and I'll find that I'm clenching my jaw, or I'm super tense somewhere else. And so that body scan can kind of make you go, oh my gosh, how long have I been clenching my jaw for? My teeth hurt. So that's another good thing.
That's a great way, because our mind and body is very interconnected, and we don't realize where we carry our stress, and body scan is a great way to do that. Like, is it your neck? Why is my neck hurting so much lately? And then you feel like, wow, I'm really tense. That allows you to create that awareness and boost that up for yourself.
Absolutely. And then I think, you find the tense areas, doing something for self-care is also really important, and taking care of yourself through this. So booking that massage, doing something to treat yourself. So doing that. And there's so much more we could talk about, Jenny, but unfortunately we're out of time. We have some information up on the screen where we can find you. Thank you so much for coming in. If you can leave us with one last piece of advice as we slide into another holiday season, another busy holiday season, what would it be?
Cherish the small things, find the positives, and no matter what you do.
Absolutely. Wonderful. Thank you so much, Jenny, for joining us.